Hello and welcome to the Alpha Movement podcast, where I, Tom Foxley, today am joined by my very good friend, and he's also an excellent coach, Jack Leaning. He runs a box up in the north of England, in the dark, grim, rainy north of England, called Results for Life, and it's also a CrossFit box, but basically he's got a very unique way of approaching guys, and I want to share his philosophies and his approach to training and life and his thought processes with you guys. So without further ado, here is my friend and, dare I say it, companion, Jack Leaning. Jack, welcome to the show, man. How are you doing?
I'm good, cheers. How are you?
I am excellent, thank you. On this dreary morning, I'm feeling great.
Yeah, it's cold.
It is cold as fuck. But for those of the audience who don't know who my mate Jack is, who's Jack?
That's me. I basically own a fitness business called Results for Life. Co-own that, and I also run a CrossFit box. So I'm a CrossFit coach, as well as a passionate coffee drinker, passionate CrossFitter, passionate human being. I do lots of work with. I do lots of things. Just share my message.
Let's start off with priorities then. What kind of coffee and what kind of brewing method?
So usually my go-to used to be an AeroPress, just because it's so quick and easy, and I'm quite messy. So literally, it's like coffee. And I've got a buddy that. It's Iron Bar coffee is what I quite like, but I just kind of coffee in general, dude. There isn't, and I'm not a massive connoisseur. I'm just passionate about drinking it and passionate about the effects of caffeine. That's more, yeah. That's what I did my dissertation on, was the effects of caffeine on deadlifting.
Oh, so, nice.
Yeah. So since then, I've kind of been an addict to coffee, caffeine.
Talk about that. The effects of caffeine on deadlifting.
Yeah. Well, so obviously, you kind of final year. Well, you come and send the degree and they're like, you need to do a dissertation, what are you going to do it on, what research? And I'm kind of like clueless, and I like lifting weights, and I was kind of, back then I was kind of into like finding out what supplements did, and I thought like training was the answer, and I thought supplements, which, I didn't really think about diet and nutrition. I just thought training hard and taking supplements, as every lad did at some point. And then so I was like, what supplements will work best to get me the best results and all this kind of stuff, and we started reading up on caffeine, and obviously it's relatively cheap, and abundance of it. So basically my study, it was a double-blind test. So I weighed all the participants, and then I made caffeine capsules for them based on their body weight, and then obviously also a placebo capsule. And they did a testing day, which I think they did I can't remember now, 1 rep max, and then we took 70% of that and then did 2 max effort sets on separate days. So obviously with plenty of time to rest. So basically they would do a 1 rep max, take 70% of that, and come in, take a tablet 30 minutes before that I gave them, that I didn't know it was just A and B, and I had someone with a separate list. They would then put 70% at the bar, and they would hit as many reps as possible. They'd then come back another day, feeling just as rested, take another capsule and do another set of max effort deadlifts, and saw a significant increase in basically repetitions to failure. Can't remember now, I guess to dig it out, but yeah, pretty good results. And from what the readings and the research that I kind of pulled out, basically suggests that
Sorry, man, I completely lost you there.
Oh, you lost all of it?
Yeah, I lost you from, oh God, I can't remember the point. I was waiting for you to catch up. What we'll do is...
Sorry.
That's all right.
Basically, people took caffeine without knowing, did loads more reps than when they didn't take caffeine.
Nice. Perfect. Succinct. Yeah. So how did you get into training?
Okay, cool. So from day one, or from CrossFit, or
from CrossFit? Let's go for day one.
Day one. Okay, yeah. Right. So I've always been played rugby since I was 10 years old, and I was crap at sport, really. And then I kind of hit puberty and just hit it hard. I got powerful and fast. So I used to do win shot put, I'd run sprints. I'd then get the top try scorer in my team, and just kind of my athletic progression just from doing nothing extra just went through the roof. And then obviously everyone catches up. And then everyone starts getting taller and bigger and faster and stronger and all that kind of stuff. And yeah, just at my school, they just took us down to a local, like a local gym. We just kind of lifted a bit of weights and kind of fanned around, as you can imagine someone would at that age. And then our friend had a massive garage with a load of weights and stuff in. He actually had bumper plates, which I thought was quite cool. Nice. So we would actually start, hitting cleans and trying to snatch and bench pressing. I remember my first ever bench press. I struggled to do like 40 kilos for 5 when I was like 17.
Nice.
And I was like, holy crap, I'm so weak. This is hard. I can remember in the corner of his room, he had like a massive stack of like Flex magazines and all these like bodybuilding magazines. And we used to flip through them and be fascinated with Arnold Schwarzenegger and all that kind of stuff. Like probably like pretty much how most people probably get into it. Fast forward to university, started exploring because I trained at Brunel University. So we trained in the athletics centre. So we, was rubbing shoulders with people like the British weightlifters, or like the GB sprint team. So if you link for Christian, his team there. We were sharing a lifting platform with Mark Lewis Francis a few times. That's quite cool. He is a strong dude, man. Yeah. Like obscene. Yeah, his power is ridiculous. And then I can remember everyone just being really good at everyone kind of back then, like in strength conditioning, kind of like you had to do Olympic lifting. You had to do Olympic lifting variations to generate power and speed and all this kind of stuff. So everyone was kind of like hitting power cleans and power snatches and all this kind of stuff. And I was kind of just realised I wasn't very good at it, but kind of would just still do a similar kind of split where I'd lift heavy, I'd do some from track sprint sessions and speed and agility sessions, I'd do some power sessions, I'd do some endurance sessions. Essentially like segmented CrossFit. And then fast forward again to, this is really cool, right? So my first ever experience of CrossFit was, there was a CrossFit competition. I think it's called like the Battle of London at the uni. And I was just kind of like mooching about because that's my gym, right? And there was obviously a massive crowd and there's people shouting and there's people like lifting weights and stuff. I didn't really take a look at it. And then I looked, there's like a rig. So like the corner, like there's like a big wing. Oh, I ain't got a wing on that anymore. Oh, anyway, there's a wing hanging off this massive rig. It's a big yellow rig. And there was a girl jumps up on it. And I was like, oh, what's she going to hit? And she started doing like 30 butterfly pull-ups. And I was just like, what? It was Sam Briggs.
No way.
Yeah. And I was like, what is going on? And I can remember looking down at everyone else and then like sticking around and then seeing like I think there was a workout with a massive chipper that had like rowing and it had dumbbell thrusters in. And I can remember looking at dumbbell thrusters and thinking, holy crap, that is obscene. Like, I honestly, in my head, because I've got 2 voices in my head, one voice in my head is saying, always says, Jack, you're not good enough, you'll never do this. You never have, just let other people do it. It's not for you, bro. Another voice saying, you can do this, let's smash it, let's go, let's have fun, yeah, let's go. And back then, the first voice kind of was speaking to me saying, dude, this ain't for you, man, you can never do that. But let's watch him and enjoy it, but I'm not doing that. And then at that event, I went and spoke to, no, that's more about my career actually, about training, sorry. And then so at that event, I bought a skipping rope because they're doing double unders and tried to learn how to do double under, started YouTubing CrossFit, like most people do, did like a 12-minute Fran. I was like absolutely just dead.
Strict pull-ups?
No. Okay, so I broke my, I had like ankle surgery, so I spent pretty much 2 months bench pressing and doing pull-ups, and I've never really been able to do pull-ups, so I basically just got my upper body is quite strong, so and I kind of taught myself like a little kip, so I was doing kips in like sets of 4, but not good kips, so still wasting a lot of energy. The thrusters were like brutal. Like if you don't know that movement pattern and like your lower back gets blown out, it was just terrible. And then I'm pretty sure every Wednesday, so I still trained with rugby players back then. It was kind of like, I think we did like a CrossFit Wednesday. So we'd just like pick like a CrossFit WOD and just kind of do it like, I'm sure we did some form of like track running drill. Basically we did kind of like Murph. We did some form of track running drill, then 10 rounds of Cindy, then another track running drill again, like straight, like back to back. And we were just like puking up.
So how did that lead you to opening up Results for Life?
Okay, good question. So that's what I was going to get onto. So at that event, have you heard of Rock Tape?
Yes.
Yeah, cool. So I was basically looking at all the vendors at this event and I was kind of saying, like, holy crap, Jack, you're getting to the end of your degree. You spent all your summers getting drunk and not really getting any experience. You don't have a clue what you want to do. You're thinking about a master's, but then, so it's all these things going on in my head. And I'm looking at this fitness space. I'm kind of seeing like, I had no idea this existed. And you can tell from the outside looking in, even when CrossFit back then, this was what, 2011. Even back then, you can tell that everyone had like nanos on. Everyone had the same shorts. Everyone you could tell it was like a tribe and a community, even though these people they were all from all different areas of the UK, right? And I could tell there was something different about this, and that like, obviously it was American, and I could just tell that like, this is something I wanted to be part of. So I went and spoke to one of the ladies at Rocktape. I said, listen, to explain my situation, said, I just need more experience. I want to be in this industry. I don't know what I want to do. I'm being totally honest, but if I can jump in and do anything to help you, then that would be amazing. Now, I had zero idea how big of a company they were or how small a company they were. I was expecting, cool, I'd be in like research labs and like taping athletes and like designing, that kind of like vibe, when really, he obviously wasn't that. So she said, okay, cool, there's a director, Simon. He's now, he continued to be a good friend of mine. And just dropped him a message and said, hey dude, spoke to someone at the event, wonder if I can help out. Yeah, sure, bro, awesome. We'd love you to help out, but you're gonna have to do the Rocktape course if you're gonna come and help us. What date can you do? Check out these dates, pick a date, we'll cover it. So I was like, oh, awesome. So I got a free Rocktape course, went on this course, learned a hell of a lot. Like, it was at that point I started to realize that my degree was just my foundation. My degree didn't mean anything unless I kind of like gained all these other little pockets of experience and knowledge to actually, to use them. So I'm in this room feeling like full of like physios and doctors and chiropractors and all this kind of stuff. And I was kind of there like just some guy that like is just finishing up his sports science degree. And I took a lot from it. And I then continued to go around the country with Simon and the other Rocktape team, just going to CrossFit and like endurance events. So we did like London Marathon, like triathlons, all this kind of stuff. And we went around and just taped people up, and I just spent all my weekends from early in the morning till late in the afternoon at these events, just taping up athletes and talking to athletes, and there's this one event, and this is where it changed the game for me, dude. Like this one event, I'm watching everyone. It was European Inferno, and again, one of my friends, Pete. So you met Pete at the
yes, yeah.
Yeah, so Pete from HG3, like real good friend of mine, and he had his tribe set up near us, so they were competing. They had like 20 people, and I'm just kind of on my own, kind of on my own in life a little bit as well. I'm a little bit in London, not quite distant away from friends and like home friends and family. Obviously, I had real good friends down at university, but I just felt a little bit isolated. And I kind of looked into his world, and he's there. He's obviously the leader of the pack. He's got his gym. Everyone's stashed out. Everyone's having fun. They're competing, and I'm like, I'm honestly like some little boy. Like at like a frosty, cold window, like at Christmas, like some homeless little boy looking in and seeing a this is an analogy I use, seeing a family like cut the turkey, and I'm like, oh, that's like the best analogy I could give. And so from there on, I was like, that's what I want. That is what I want. And I know so basically what happened was I kind of said, right, I didn't really think how I'm going to do that. I just kind of knew that was a goal, right? And because I was still kind of pursuing strength and conditioning, so I ended up coming back to, I was in Derby for a little bit. When CrossFit Derby first opened up, I kind of like started training there a little bit, and then I ended up coming back home, coaching at my rugby club back here, playing a bit of rugby, injured now, so I don't really play. So I basically ended up back home and started setting up, using kettlebells, sandbags, like a big influence of mine, kind of like Zach Evans, Travis Stokes, all those kind of American guys, a bit underground, using your own body weight, that kind of stuff. Met Josh. He was like kind of a boot camp focused. I was kind of like bells, bags on body weight, kind of like that's a program Travis Stokes did that my friend had done, that I was quite interested in. And that was like, how can you train like that without any barbells and still get amazing results? So that was quite cool. And that kind of started opening my eyes, as well as still looking at CrossFit. And now we've got a CrossFit box. Yeah.
It's seamless transition to having a CrossFit box.
Yeah. So, and this is another thing, like, I have the utmost respect for, well, I've got a lot of respect for a lot of people and everything, and that kind of person, but I have the utmost respect for CrossFit, the CrossFit program, the CrossFit methodology. And I was very clear that before he was affiliated, that anything we did that kind of like, mixed modal style hybrid training, that we weren't trying to like rip off any kind of CrossFit. We had like similar methodologies, similar philosophies, but I wasn't trying to poach their methods and play them off as my own. And likewise, I didn't want to just open up a box without really making sure that I could be a credit to the community. Like, you can go and do the course and you can open a box, which is cool, but we don't actually market CrossFit. We market our Results for Life. The CrossFit is like the process that we introduce people to. So essentially, Results for Life, the way we do things, is just a very, very in-depth, complex, massive, like effective on-ramp. So our on-ramp isn't 2 weeks. Our on-ramp essentially is 6 months, 3 months, depending on the, So and now it started off with me, another like kind of assistant coach who's now like going to be, it's a really awesome, effective coach. He was a client. And then we started off me here and a few others that were kind of like the ones that did the pull-ups and the muscle-ups and the Olympic lifting. And everyone else was all like still on very relatively basic training. So power lifts and body weight. Until now, where we have like a 4 p.m. training group that's like, it's just insane, dude. And like, so you got loads of people doing pull-ups, loads of people doing hand walking, loads of people doing muscle, the advanced CrossFit stuff that people, the stuff that people, the reason why people do CrossFit, like a lot of people is to like achieve those. And so it's really cool to see that we've got that now, and to kind of really reflect on where we've come from to where we're at now is it's quite humbling, really.
Can you talk for a bit about the Results for Life philosophies and the kind of the system you got set up? Because I think that's really cool.
Yeah, cheers, dude. So obviously, like me and Josh were kind of like sat down, had a serious conversation, and we were running kind of the boot camps and saying, oh, well, people like them, it's fun, and like, but are people really getting the results? And some people were, some people weren't. Anyone that was getting results was getting results because they were kind of like training a lot, but then they were handling their nutrition off their own bat, and other things in their life kind of like were were good. Anyone that had any kind of higher levels of stress or other things going on and other that affected their habits to create results, they were the people that we weren't serving. So it was like, how can we serve them? So then we set up more of like a personal training route that so you get all these people that are now getting amazing results, but are looking at the group saying, well, I want to go back in the group because they're my friends, and I enjoy that. So then we kind of like looked at, we're spinning our heels probably for 2-3 years, just focusing on the process, thinking, what's the best like formula of training to nutrition to all these kind of things. And then one day, and we've always like we've always sat down and reevaluated like our company values, our core values as individuals, as a team, what we stand for, what we stand against, and kind of what our mission is. And then I kind of like just looked at everyone and looked at everything we're doing, and then had an amazing chat with my friend Chet from Strength Education, and he basically introduced me. He's the pharaoh of strength in my eyes. I'm using the pharaoh because it's a pun, because he taught me the pyramid. So basically everything, he explains everything in pyramids. And so I came up with the pyramid of success. Well, I didn't come up with it. I just put our stuff into a pyramid. And so basically everything, like literally our entire system, our entire method, everything we do from training to like mindset support to nutrition support, to even like how the community runs through this pyramid. I'll pull up a visual representation another time, but I'll explain it. So the base of the pyramid is obviously the most important, So Louis Simmons talks about, you can only build a pyramid as tall as you can build it wide, right? You've got to have a strong, wide base and foundation. So our foundation is purpose. And regardless of whether you want to do extreme things like you do and swim a ridiculous amount and do sub 3 minute for hands and do handstands and all this stuff, like still deep down in your soul, in my mum's soul, and in everyone's soul, like we want to be happy, we want to be healthy, we want to be strong in mind, body and spirit. Like bottom line, everyone wants to be like that. So we're like, okay, that's the foundation. We know that. That's what everyone wants. Now let's build principles on that. Boom. So what principles are we going to put into our system and how we help people? Now, again, this is something that I kind of change and mold. And if you look at kind of CrossFit's methodology and CrossFit's development, CrossFit develop and mold due to the landscape, and like they're always evolving and always changing, and that's kind of what we are as a business as well. Basically, we want to empower people. So we want to make sure the prescription that we give people is going to empower them. So it's going to educate them, and it's going to give them confidence. The two main things. So their confidence in their own ability. Pretty much most people have so much potential that it's so untapped, all this potential. The only reason why it's hid away in like a shell of lacking in confidence. They bottle everything up and don't express themselves. So the empowerment part comes from educating them so they feel confident to express themselves. And for example, we've had a lot of clients come through our doors, and a lot of clients move on, and a lot of clients go and train at other places, which I think is amazing. And I love seeing the progress, and I still keep up to date with all the people that are training at a local rival gym or whatever. I love to see them progressing because I've been a part in that, and I've helped them, and I've helped. And I know there's people out there now that are training that not from a place of ego, but are only probably in this world because I introduced them to this world, and I give them the best introduction that's got them passionate about it, and now they're continuing it. So how amazing is that? I'm not bothered that they're not training with me anymore. Well, I am a little bit bothered because I'd love to train with them, but as long as they're out having fun and enjoying themselves, then that's what it's all about. So that's the empowerment part. The next principle is passion. So we've got a phrase, live with passion, because obviously that is, the most important thing, which is connected to happiness. So not only do we want people to be passionate about this, like the methods we use, and passionate about what they're doing, but also it can actually have, some people aren't that bothered about, they just want to come in, they want to sweat, they want to say hi, they want to eat well, but their priority, their passion is their kids, their family, going on bike rides, doing what they want to do outside of the gym. And if the prescription we can give them can help increase that, then that's exactly what we want to do. So passion is the second kind of word we use, and the third one is, I call it like infinity. Oh, that's the clock. And so I say like fitness is infinite, because fitness is as wide it needs to be, it's as long as it needs to be, it's as short as it needs to be. It's like, it's plastered all over CrossFit. You have you can have Rich thrown in with his mum. She's doing box squats with a PVC pipe doing thrusters. He's doing like 100 kilo thrusters right next to her. There's still, it's just dose response, right? Everyone can still train. Their 80% is relative to them, and so everyone's supposed to move. So in terms of infinity, it means that people get so hung up and so bothered about the process. Oh, what if I can't do this? What if I can't do that? What if I can't do this? We've got a client with MS but she struggled to pick up a TV remote. I didn't do anything special with her apart from just say, okay, we know how to pick up a medicine ball. You've got limited use in your kind of like in your function to move, but what you can do is pick a medicine ball over your head. Picking up a 55 kilo medicine ball from the floor to overhead turned into a 10 kilo medicine ball, which turned into rowing, which turned into skipping with a good hand whilst we skip for the other hand. So she's now jumping, okay? And which then turns into 8 months later from literally, this is my beard comb, she probably couldn't even pick that up, to pull in 167 kilo deadlift at power.
No way.
Yeah. Bro, it's insane. And again, it's like, and I love this because, so Gary, he's just been out, Gary's got cerebral palsy. He's just been out to I can't remember it now, my mind's gone blank. It was in Maryland, in America anyway. It was a competition. I can't remember it right now. Wounded Warrior Games, something like that. Anyway, he actually he actually won it. Podium.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
He's actually an extreme human being, because he obviously he's had CP all his life. He's very successful in his career, very successful in his relationships. Like, he's a driven dude. He's a an FA Hall of Famer.
Nice.
He played for England. And he came to me and he sat on a sofa in our office and said, "Hi, dude, yeah," because his wife's amazing. She trains with us. I said, "Oh, Vicky kind of said, it'd be good for me to come and see you and see what we can stuff." And honestly, the way he saw it, kind of fitness isn't really for me, because he's thinking Globo Gym, that kind of like traditional way of fitness. He has zero idea what our world's like, and so I'm kind of being quite smug, like smirking, like, "Yeah, you can do fitness, dude." And that now, I trained with him yesterday. So we had some guys doing a competition, and I jumped in with him and one of our other lads, and he was doing one-handed barbell cleans, and he's got a mono ropes, he skips with one hand. Like, it's insane, dude. I'm allowed to swear.
So cool. Yeah, swear away.
Fuck, bugger, tits, wank. So that's just about fitness is infinite. Fitness is, what we do, and like CrossFit say, Greg Glassman says, it isn't for everyone, but it is for anyone. So they're our principles. So then on top of that is finally our process. Now we say, right, what is the best kind of, I guess, exercise prescription, without us trying to reinvent the wheel? What is the best exercise prescription for us to completely align with, that aligns with our values and aligns with our philosophy? CrossFit. So our exercise prescription is very heavily focused around CrossFit. However, our nutrition, our mindset, all these other things are things that we've kind of formed through basically caring about our clients. So listening to our clients, not to respond, but to listen. Caring about our clients, caring about the fears, the frustrations, and the aspirations of our clients. It's all about them. Serving them is what helped us develop our philosophy. And so you put our philosophy with CrossFit, and that's why we're killing it. That's why we're getting amazing results. And that's why I'm so passionate and I get so animated about it, because I never thought that this was possible. I didn't think this was fitness. It just blows my mind. And so my mission is to expose this to as many people as possible. And the best way of doing that at the minute is just focusing on my little box, make sure that's running well, make sure I'm empowering the people that I'm in front of me. And then once, and then that will eventually start to seep out into the wider community. And I'm doing things. I'm speaking at an event next end of the month actually about this. It's quite cool.
Nice. So I think we can easily tell who's a good coach, or I can tell that you're a good coach. Let me rephrase that. And what do you think is the component parts of a good coach?
A coach that this is quite funny. We was doing a coach development chat with one of my. He's actually rowing over there at the minute. He's awesome. Matt, I used to play rugby with him, and he came in on a bit of an intern of us, and now he's one of our coaches. Really young, talented, passionate coach. We were talking about this yesterday, and our job is to. This is quite weird. Now, Alex, you'll understand what I mean, but for so long, dude, I was so bothered about what people thought of me, and I didn't want to put things out there in case other coaches said, "Ha, you're doing it wrong. You're not a good coach." And so everything I did wasn't, the choices I was making, the decisions I was doing wasn't for the people that I was serving. It's for the people that why the hell was I doing that? And I was like, why was I doing things to appease people that have no influence in my life whatsoever, when I should be focused on the people in front of me, like the people that are literally paying me money to help them. I need to focus all my attention on them. So that's what I did. And then I kind of then started to realize that being a coach is a very complex thing. You need to be a friend, but you need to be a mentor. You obviously need to coach and educate. You need to give them a kick up the arse when they need it. You need to hug them. You need to show them. You need to lead them. You need to make them feel safe. And I've been very fortunate, because what I didn't mention is I used to, for a very short space of time, I was teaching at my old college. I was doing strength and conditioning then, and there was a position to actually teach. So for a very short period of time, I was teaching A-level PE and sports science. So I was just saying, right guys, today we're going to look at training applications. Let's watch CrossFit. I blew their mind. Obviously, I stuck the curriculum, but I gave them my flavour, my experiences, and tried to instill some passion in them. And because I didn't have a very good relationship with formal education, and very much once I broke out from there is when I really started to flourish. So what makes a good coach for me is someone that understands that you're there to serve, and understands that you're not always going to. People aren't always going to. You can't always be someone's best friend. You can't always please someone, but in the long term, you need to. It's all about serving them. People do not pay you to be your friend. They don't sit in the office with you and they sign up with you and saying, "Hey, here's my membership, so we can be friends." And say, "Hey, here's my membership because you're going to get me fucking results, and you're going to help me, and you're going to guide me, and I want to be able to do the things that you can do and your other clients can do." Agreed? Yeah, cool. All right, let's do that. And obviously, the byproduct is that you build strong relationships because you give a shit, you care, and they now become your friends. But first and foremost, you're there to serve them. So I think a good coach, regardless of skills, regardless of abilities, regardless of certifications, is someone that that actually cares, but actually communicates that they care. And I think communication is the biggest thing. And what really, I'm very open and honest. And what changed the game for me one day is we had I think it was a goal-setting seminar, and Josh, motherfucker, proper broke me down. So I was kind of sat in the corner of the room like a little boy, just kind of. Cause I was just kind of sat kind of out of the circle. He was distributing the information, and a gym full of people listening to him. And he kind of said, "Jack, why do you coach?" And I explained. And he said, "Why?" And I gave him another answer. He said, "Why?" And it got to me. I'm like, I do everything I do is for my mum. So I want to pay back her, and I want to give her. I realised, I'm not going to go into it, but I obviously, as you know, sacrifices that a mother or a parent makes for the child. Once I kind of realised that, I went, "Oh shit!" I need to pull my finger out, and I used to be successful for her, not because she's already proud of me, but not to make her proud. Oh, fly for me. Everything's going wrong. Kill the atmosphere. And but just because like I owe it to her to like give back to her. Like that's she gave to me. I'm now going to give to her. Anyway, so I was in floods of tears, like oh. But that why stuck with me, and that got me so fired up. So I'm like, right, step up my game. So I've invested lots of time, lots of money, not in accumulating new certificates and new things and new information, because information is abundant. Now, everything that you learn at those things that you're going to learn at kind of on courses, you can probably extrapolate that information online, because you don't go for that. You go for the experience, you go for the community, you go for like the little nuggets that the instructor's giving you. You know, it's the experience, not necessarily the information. And I think, you know, when you're getting the information coupled with the experience, and the information sticks and stays. And so to me, I've completely gone off at a tangent, but to me, a good coach is someone that understands they already have the potential, understands the limit of what they can distribute and prescribe, but doesn't hold back anything that they can. So a coach is someone that's confident and caring, and gives 100% of what they can, doesn't hide in a shell and only give 10% of what they can.
Okay, no, that makes a lot of sense. When you you think about a good coach, who's the first person that comes to mind?
This is difficult because, like, it's obviously industry. Depends on what context. It depends. I've seen in terms of strength and fitness. You know, like I think it's such a subjective thing.
Yeah.
So a lot. You know, I think I'm the best coach for 99% of my clients, but I know there's been a lot of clients that have moved on that I'm probably not the best coach for. I could potentially be, but at that time, I'm not. And so they go and they find someone else who might be a little bit better suited to them, the way they talk to them, just the way they engage. Like, you know, like, it's my friend Chet. I resonate with him a lot. He's a great coach. Obviously.
So we could try this. Who's the coach that's had the biggest influence on you?
So Danny Watson who's on my he's one of the CrossFit level 1 staff, seminar staff on my level 1. I still like speak to him quite a lot, and he's supposed to be coming at some point when we get dates sorted. We had to cancel it. He's going to come in and do just a little kind of like a talk with how he coaches with our coaches. So just kind of like say, listen, this is what I use, this is what I do, because he's really good and switched on, and he's a very inspiring guy. So Danny definitely sticks out to me.
What makes Danny so good?
His communication skills, his level of caring, doesn't matter who. Like every time he speaks to me, or when I see him speak to other people, he has zero judgment on that person whatsoever, and he just talks to them as that person in that place. And you know, this is it. A good coach is a good leader, and a good leader makes someone feel safe. And I'm talking to him when he's talking about his zone of genius. I feel safe in the knowledge that he's giving. I feel safe in his presence. Same with Andy Edwards from DC. He, again, was one of the first athletes I saw competing at CrossFit. I think he won that event, the same one Sam Briggs won, and he was obviously on my level 1 staff, and he was on the level 1 staff when he taught my level 1, and he inspired me a lot as well. And again, someone that's just a good communicator, that cares, that just gives a shit, and he's confident in the information they know. They're not trying to teach anything they don't know, and they're not trying to. And if you ask them a question they don't know, they'll say, "I don't know," and find someone that does. They won't try and like pluck an answer out of their ass. So you know, it's someone. I think it's a coach that's got a high level of self-awareness, understands their strengths and weaknesses.
Nice. When you think of successful, who's the first person that comes to mind?
I'm an overthinker because I'm like I automatically like don't want to be cliche.
That's okay. You can be as cliche as you want.
Successful. So I don't necessarily think of one person. I think of literally like a super speed montage of lots of different people that I represent with that. And the common traits is they're living their passion. They have a well-balanced lifestyle. They're usually like fit and healthy and strong. And they kind of like caring and spending time with their family, but also have like, you know, the financial freedom. So essentially the dream that we all want, there's a certain, you know, there's maybe the guys that I've spoken about already, those coaches, Richard Branson, like loads of people.
Do you have any, you finished that?
people that are happy.
Yeah. Do you have any particular morning routines that aid you and facilitate a good day?
Yeah, so obviously I'm lucky enough, she's one of the coaches and accountability manager, and she handles our nutrition and stuff. It's my girlfriend Kim. So I obviously wake up with her every day, which is amazing, and we come to the gym together, we work together, we do everything together. So if I'm coaching in the morning, then a good day, it just changes. I have a routine. So my routine when I'm coaching in the morning will be get up, get into the gym early, get the music on, get a coffee on, and just, if I'm driving, or either whether I'm driving or if I'm the passenger in the car, I'll use that time. I won't really speak in the morning. So I guess whatever I do, my ritual is to maybe not speak and maybe not jump into action so quick. I try not to look at my phone. I look at the time because I have a watch, and I know I'm good for time, and we're in a schedule, and then I use like silence to warm up my brain.
Yeah.
Just start to think and start to cogs turn. Obviously, I've got things planned in my day that I'm going to do, but then I kind of like double check, is everything in there, and just kind of like just get myself like, how you would like get yourself prepared in the house, and you'd like cook some food and clean, and that gets set. Well, that's what I kind of do in my mind. Then I'll coach, drink some coffee, have a chat with the guys in the morning. Amazing, from 6 until 8. Occasionally, I get in at 5 a.m. and do some running and rowing and training.
Sorry, man, my internet died.
That's all right, no worries. Where did I get to?
You got to, let me just start recording again. I occasionally get in at 5 a.m.
Okay, so occasionally get in at 5 a.m. and sometimes I'll train. And then what I'll do is, after I've coached, I'll go grab some food and just kind of, little odd jobs. So emails, organising things, make some form of post, think, plan, just kind of still not fully dive like deep into like hustle mode. And then I want to keep my brain pretty like sharp. So if I'm coached, I'll coach at 10 a.m. So I'll coach at 10 a.m., have an amazing class with them, hang around and chat with them maybe until 11:15. And then my daily tasks, that could be content creation, that could be chasing up on like people that have applied to work with us, everything from planning systems. Like we've got quite a lot on our hands at the minute in terms of just making sure everything is in our heads at the minute, and we're trying to get everything out of our head onto paper, into documents, into plans, into processes. So that's what I'm doing. That's my routine. Basically just, no, I don't really meditate. I don't really have a morning ritual as per the main ritual the main ritual is just silence, about half an hour. Have
there been any books that you've either gifted to like a lot of people, or books that you've found particularly influential?
The Little Book of Clarity by Jamie Smart.
Oh, I haven't heard of that one.
Bro, read it. So it's about like decontaminating your mind, and it resonated with me because I, again, talk about this quite a lot, but I was so bothered about other people, so bothered about the opinions of other people, so bothered about people thought of me, whether I was doing things right, whether I was doing things wrong. When I'd want to make a decision, someone like some of my network would then maybe question that decision and make me feel that I shouldn't be making that decision, and which is obviously contamination. And this book's all about decontaminating your mind and getting clarity. I've gifted that book quite a lot. I don't even know what mine is. I've lent it out. People have read it. I've bought people it. I've told people to buy it, and everyone that reads it is absolutely blown away. The next one isn't a book. So I was at an event of AJ Roberts, who is an awesome dude, and he introduced me to this video called Finding Joe. Don't know if you've heard of it.
No, I haven't.
Did I tell you about it?
No.
Okay, so it's called Finding Joe. Have you heard about the hero's journey?
No.
Okay, so all stories, whether they're from the Bible, whether they're from the latest Iron Man movie, whether it's Harry Potter, whether it's a kid's book, all this kind of stuff, usually 9.99999%, high percent of all the things go through the same kind of like pattern, which is called the hero's journey, which is where if you Google it, you'll tell you about it. But basically, so all stories are the same. All stories frameworks exactly the same. But this movie talks about that, and this movie is hands down, it's 80 minutes, hands down, it's one of the most motivational things that I've ever watched. And then as a as a coach and someone, not just a coach, but someone that has a message to send, it's one of the most crucial pieces of content that I've ever watched that actually has helped me get my message out even more.
What was it called again?
Finding Joe. So I think it's like www.findingjoemovie.com. I think you can rent it for like $4. I'd make it a priority.
Nice.
And then the next book, sort of very mindset-y.
No, that's good. The mindset's the foundation of everything we do. So
Yeah,
mindset's
absolutely. So have you read, oh my God, Unbeatable Minds by Mark Divine?
Yes, I have. Yeah.
So I had to stop. I was on holiday, 2-week holiday in Egypt, and I was a week in, and I started reading that. And I had to stop reading it because I was getting so fired up. I actually wanted to come home. and then I wanted to come home, and I was like, I'm going to do SEAL Fit. So that is actually a goal, to do SEAL Fit, but at the minute...
Nice. Oh, it's brutal. I've got a friend of mine at the moment who's preparing for it, and it just sounds horrendous, but great at the same time. Reminds me of military days.
Yeah, you was in the forces, weren't you?
Well, yeah, I spent a bit of time as a Royal Marines reservist, but yeah, let's talk about you.
Okay, sorry.
That's all right. So you mentioned your change in values and you had that moment where things changed. How did things change when you began to realize that you'd done everything for an outside perspective?
So that was a catalyst for lots of different shifts, and and I get shifts all the time. And a very recent shift was when I was in Toronto, so over Business Influence Society. We had like an event there, and this is exactly what we was talking about. We was talking about kind of like telling your story and like overcoming the opinions of others and just kind of living your life with passion. And basically, I just realised that I'd blamed so much for I'd blame my school that I went to. I'd blame the opportunities. I'd blame the opportunities I didn't have. I'd blame this. I'd blame that. I'd blame my mom. I'd blame all these different things for the reason why I thought back then I wasn't successful or I wasn't doing the things I should have been doing. And I blamed all this stuff, and I realised, like, hang on a minute, like, I reflected and said, if I hadn't gone through this journey, then I wouldn't be here. And so I kind of just put it to bed, and it's like, it is what it is, move on. And if anything, it's a blessing. All the fuck-ups I've ever done, all the things I've done wrong, all the mistakes, all these things, now I reflect on them are a blessing because that's been a crucial part of me today. So when that shift kind of happened, and when the other shifts have happened, it just kind of, okay, so that thing I told you about when I cried, when Josh told me, like, that was a catalyst for change. And I basically kind of I found Kim, my partner, like found her, which was like perfect. And other relationships got better, and everything just kind of fell into place, and everything started. Now, don't get me wrong, some days are tough, some days are hard. And at the start of this week, I was very overwhelmed and stressed with things, and I was struggling. But I went from being a life of being like very sedated and often sad, and often like there was a lot more instances that made me feel very upset, whereas now that's very rare. Most time I'm happy, like I can honestly say I'm happy like all the time. I've never had that in my life. The last time I can remember was when I was a little kid. I didn't really have anything to do and was running around playing in the woods. That's honestly how I feel now.
Do you think that's all come from identifying your true why?
Absolutely.
Yeah, nice. And how do you suggest that people find their true why? Is it simply asking why a series of times, or do you think you have to go through certain experiences to get to there? Okay,
so like this is another thing in the hero's journey. So when there's like a need for a mentor will appear. Or when there's not a need for change or a need for opportunity, an opportunity will appear. And the opportunity may start by someone, like a stroke or a feather or like a little tap that we ignore, we don't hear. A sign that we just ignore because we're too wrapped up in other bullshit. Then it gets a heart attack. And so it's a fucking sledgehammer in the face. So, for example, I'll use the analogy of like health. Someone's markers in ill health could be body fat and could be all these other things. But someone that's smoking and starts getting a cough, and ignore it, and they keep smoking and ignore it, and then they can't do the exercise and the things they want to do. But that's like a sign saying stop fucking smoking. And they don't stop, and they carry on until the sledgehammer is you've got fucking lung cancer. This is it. It's too late sometimes, right? Now, so for anyone that wants to like change, I'd say like just fucking listen and just watch, and like an opportunity will present itself. It's another thing, like I'm scared of loads of things. Like loads of things scare me, but before I'd let fear paralyze me, and I'd let fear stop me from making a decision that I wanted. And now courage is just doing it anyway. Like, you know, you can have courage. Courage isn't like an absence of fear. Fear is there. We need fear. Fear is good. You know, stress is good. It's stimulus. We need to fucking fight against it and lean into the fear. As my friend Pat Divley says, lean into fear. And so I just put up the courage and just fucking stepped into it. Like, what have I got to lose? Or what have I got to lose? Nothing. So when an opportunity arises, then fucking pussy out.
Nice. That's an awesome place to end it, I think.
Yeah, cool. That's
really, really cool. Thank you so much for coming on the show. Where can people find out a bit more about yourself and about Results for Life?
Okay, so obviously, this is another thing real quick. I just love talking to people. I was at an award ceremony the other day, I can't remember. Me and Josh have won an award, Investors in Education, because we do a lot of work with kids at school that struggle.
Nice.
So we won an award, which was cool. And there's a guy doing like a presentation, and his message was good and I enjoyed it. His message was basically fucking pretty much what I've just said, but in a different way. And the entire time this is no word of a lie, the entire like 2 hours at this event, I was looking at that microphone and saying, I just want to go on and talk. I just want to talk to people. All I want to do is just share my message, because it's had such a profound effect on me that I just want to like tell more people about it. So where you can find me is Facebook, you know, Jack Leaning. Add me, send me messages, talk to me. If I'm busy and I'm looking after my clients here, obviously I won't always get back, but as quick as some people like want, like instant. Everyone anything instant nowadays, but I just love meeting new people, talking to new people, networking. Like, I've made some fantastic friends, like you, Tom. You're great friends that you know, we've only really met a handful of times. Like Brandon, my friend in Australia, like, again, I only met him a handful of times, but still so connected, and there's so many strong connections I have online with people that aren't always in my life in person, but always in my life here, and it have massive influence on me. So find me on Facebook, add me on Facebook. Our website is, it might be changing, but it's resultsforlife.tv, so obviously anyone that wants to find out a little bit more about us, go there, or our Facebook page, Results for Life. And obviously anything about CrossFit, you can find us on there. We're Stronger Together CrossFit, but it's all through Results for Life. Yeah.
Nice. Excellent.
I won't give out my address and number.
Not Mike Bergner.
On request.
Mike Bergner did exactly that. He gave out his phone number and his address, yeah. But yeah, anyway, thank you so much for jumping on the show. And I'll speak to you.
Cool. See you in a bit, dude. Let me dab.
Thank you for listening to another episode of the Alpha Movement Podcast. Don't forget, you can get access to these shows before anyone else. You can watch them live, and you can even ask your questions directly to some of these awesome guests via me live, and I shall answer them before your very eyes. So if you want to support the show, head over to iTunes, leave a 5-star review, connect with us on Facebook at facebook.com/Alpha Movement Official, or you can find out more at alphamovement.co. And I shall see you soon for another episode of the Alpha Movement Podcast.
Once a year, the same place I've always stood.